Hey YouTube, I thought I'd do a fun video today on what to do with all that Halloween candy. I am not a professional at this, but I think after 4 kids and 10 years of doing this, I have finally gotten it down a little bit, but I would love to hear what other people do. But here's what we do. So the first thing we do when we get home with all of our candy is my kids dump it all in the middle of our dining room table, and then all 4 of them sit around it and they combine the candy, so nobody gets to keep the bucket that they got. Like, nobody gets to keep their own candy. We combine it because otherwise in my house kids argue about, well, you got a Twix and I wanted a Twix, or the older brothers, not that they're not angels, but the older brothers will manipulate the younger brothers into giving them more candy or less candy or cruddier candy, changing it for like a full-size candy bar for like a piece of taffy or a Tootsie Roll. Anyway, so we just combine all the candy to prevent all the fighting and any sort of mischievous actions that my older ones would take. Then the first thing we do is I end up having bins. Let's see, so I set up bins, and the first thing they do is they choose 10 pieces of lunch candy. I labeled the bin, and so they each choose 10 pieces, and inside the bin I have a little baggie, and each baggie has their name on it. So they know that they are going to get 10 pieces of candy. So, and it's usually not in a row because sometimes they'll choose something else or whatever. And but anyway, 10 pieces of their Halloween candy they know they're going to get, and I'm going to put it in their lunches. Now my little ones don't take lunches, so it's usually like a little reward treat or something for something that they've done. My 3-year-old usually really will argue with me when I tell him to go potty. So I will sometimes say, I'll give you a piece of Halloween candy from your bag. And so so that's what this is for. So this is lunch candy and kind of treat candy. So that gives them 10 pieces so they don't feel like they're sacrificing their whole thing, and they kind of feel like they have some control over it. The second thing that we do is we have a really fun tradition of having a Thanksgiving countdown. So I put candy in little envelopes, and I'll show you how we do that at Thanksgiving because it's a really fun thing. We call it turkey mail, and I put little notes in there about why I'm thankful for my boys, and they also get to get a little treat all the way up to Thanksgiving. So they run to their mail in the morning, and I'll show you because we're going to be having them up here in the next day or two. So I'll show you how we do that, and that's just something that's just has been a blessing. I think we started doing it about 2 years ago, and it has been one of the things that my kids remember the most. And the weird thing is they don't remember the candy or the treat, and I thought that's what it was all about. But one morning I forgot. I got up late and I didn't put it in there, and my oldest son said, where's my note? And he wasn't even concerned about the candy. He was worried about the note that says, I love you and I care about you so much, and this is why you're a blessing in my life. And he missed that. And so it's just a really great thing. So that's what we do. So each of my kids picks out enough candy till the day of Thanksgiving. So I know that seems like a lot of candy, but they're really small. I mean, and my kids, even though they want the candy, they don't usually eat the candy. So like so I have this separated into each individual bags too in their place. And so like let me just show you like the size. Like this is like not even like a fun size Twix. It's like the Twix mini. So it's not a huge amount of candy, and often like there's Smarties and stuff in here. My little ones will just take one and then I'll find the rest around the house. So the countdown though is super fun. It's super cute. It's a great way to start the morning off with like a note to tell them how much you love them. So yeah, so the second thing we do is we separate it into however many days it is to Thanksgiving, and for our turkey mail. So that's where that candy comes. That's where that candy goes. And hope I didn't just knock my lamp over. Okay. Now the third thing, and this is awesome. So we usually go to a lot of festivals, like even before Halloween. So my kids have already got so much candy that's not even funny. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, my kids have peanut allergies. So before we even start separating the candy into like the lunch candy and the Thanksgiving candy, we sit down as a family and we pull out all the peanut stuff. Everything that has peanuts in it or is questionable, might have peanuts in it. We put that all in a bag, and my husband takes it to work and he puts it on his desk. and everybody really loves him for that. They also really love him because for teacher gifts, we get truffles, those truffles. We take out all the there's 6 peanut ones in the large bags of the Lindt truffles. We take those out and they send them to work and people are like, oh yay, they got new truffles. Because those are expensive and they're really, really good. Okay, but I digress. The other thing that we do, sorry, I have an itchy nose today. The other thing that we do that is probably one of the most fun things that we do with the candy, and that is why this box is completely empty because we've already used it. We go booing every year, and my kids think it's like the best thing ever, and it's totally hysterical because they dress in black, and our whole family dresses in black, and then we go to someone's house and we ring the doorbell and we leave them a treat on the doorstep with a little sign that says you've been booed and now you have to boo someone else. And then we run away from the house as fast as we can, all dressed in black, but my kids with their light up shoes. And then we go around the corner, we buckle our 5-point harnesses on our kids. So we're not exactly the stealth family, but our kids think we're stealth and it's really funny. But the thing we do is we separate after they've done the Thanksgiving candy and they've done their lunch candy, we separate anything that would be good in cookies or treats into the Boo cookie box. And then we do 2 things with that. Okay, first of all, sometimes we just make cookies. And I have a pre-made cookie mix that I make. I don't know if you see that. It's and then we go through this so much because it's so great for gifts. And so we usually so it takes just 3 cups. My cell phone's ringing. Let me turn it off. All right, so it just takes 3 cups and then like an egg and some milk and you're done. And then, so then what we do is we chop up the candy and we put that into the cookies, and it is so good. You'd be surprised that like Skittles and candy corns and like Milk Duds and everything actually turns out really good. And then that's what we often use for our Boo cookies. Now sometimes the places that we boo, the mom knows, who like the people who are friends of ours, they know it was us, so they know that it's safe to eat the cookies, because a lot of people would be like, I don't want to eat cookies, I don't know where they came from. And so we do that. And then the other thing that we do with that sometimes is my kids, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Chopped. My kids love that show, and so especially my oldest son. So sometimes we play Chopped, and so I'll give my kids each a bowl of the pre-made cookie dough, just sugar cookie dough, and then we give them a basket, just like they do in Chopped, and say, create the best cookie you can with these ingredients, and we time them, and then we put them in the oven, and then we have and then my husband does the judging, and it's really fun. My kids love it. We do it every year, and they love it. And then because that leaves us with a lot of cookies, we take 2 cookies to their teacher, like every year, like every day. But my kids go to a school where they have lots of teachers. They have a homeroom teacher, and then they have like 3 specials teachers, and then if they go up or down for math, they have those different teachers because it's a differentiated learning program. It's awesome. Highly recommend that kind of school. And so, yeah, so they have a lot of teachers. So, I mean, we could send in like 24 bags of cookies in one day to cover everybody. And that's just for my older 2, and then my other 2 have preschool teachers. So honestly, we could do 30 bags of cookies. So it's not that many for us to do it. But this is like the best thing. So we separate all the good candy that's good for cookies and stuff into another bin for Boo cookies and Chopped. And so that is super awesome. Then we end up with kind of some, just a kind of pile of candy. And then I just select a few. All 4 of my kids play piano. And yes, my 3-year-old plays piano. And it's not because he's super brilliant or whatever. It's because we just believe in starting young. And there is a series of books that is fantastic. Our piano teacher turned us onto it. And I just had no idea it even existed. But it is amazing for like 3- and 4-year-olds. Both my 3- and my 4-year-old play, and yeah, I should have brought them over, but anyway, when they have their practices, sometimes we'll use a little candy for motivation, and so I just have a little candy dish. I know it's not pretty, but hey, we used to have a glass dish on there, but somebody knocked it off on top of our piano. So now we have this, and it's just a little dish for sometimes when they did a super amazing job, or they just need a little extra motivation. So, but usually they don't, because believe it or not, they love piano. My 2 oldest ones played guitar for 4 years before they started piano, and I totally wish we would have done piano first, because all 4 of my kids love it, and we sold all of our guitars, got rid of it, and never looked back because our kids are really getting burned out on it. So anyway, okay, so then the very last thing that we do, and then we have this big pile of candy left over in the middle of the table, and of course we don't need to keep any more candy because you can see we've already kept a lot of candy. I have 4 kids collecting candy, plus we get booed and stuff like that, so we have a lot of candy. And this is all the stuff we've collected this Halloween just from the festivals and trunk or treats that we've gone to with our church and stuff like that. And we're going to another festival and going trick-or-treating tonight, so we will have way more candy than even this that I'm showing you. So then the last thing we do with all the candy that is left over, and just tonight when we get home from trick-or-treating, we'll go through the same process. We'll sort through the peanuts, we'll, you know, choose a couple pieces for lunches, we'll put some Boo candy in, and we've already got our Thanksgiving candy picked out, but we will definitely put a lot in for the Boo candy and for making treats. And if I have any leftover, sometimes I'll use it to decorate a gingerbread house in Christmas time. And then whatever is left, we put in this bin, and this bin is for the Great Pumpkin. So anything that my kids don't really like a lot, or is just left over, or hasn't been chosen, even if it's something good like M&Ms, like who wouldn't choose that, we put it in this bin. And also the other thing we put in this bin, I have another small bag. I'll take it out. Another small bag inside the bin, and in this small bag I put all of the hard candies, like the Jolly Ranchers and stuff. And then we make stained glass Christmas ornaments out of those. So that's what we do with that. But then you can see there's still like candy in here that is left over after everything. And that is what we put out for the Great Pumpkin. So after we've done everything so that we don't have candy just laying around, we've got tons of candy that like we won't eat, or that, you know, we've just got too much candy. And our kids, you know, don't need any more candy. So we take all of that candy and we put it by our fireplace inside of a big pumpkin. Actually, like, it's not that big, it's probably this. And we put it inside of a big pumpkin, and we write a letter to the Great Pumpkin, and the Great Pumpkin comes and takes the candy and leaves my kids a small gift. Now, my older ones this year are to the point where they actually want just money, and that's actually better for us. They're saving up for a trip. They planned this trip to this amusement park, and they have actually done a phenomenal job of saving for it, and mowing lawns and dog sitting. So the Great Pumpkin this year will leave them like $5. Our little ones, you know, they'll just leave like a little stuffed animal or a little something very small. It's not like a big thing, but it is better than them having all of that candy. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And one of the things, and I can't say enough about the booing and the chopped thing, because it is an amazing family thing, and I just feel like we bond, and we also get to do service for other people and gift other people and kindness for other people, and it's a really great way to watch them sacrifice their candy for goodness, and they still have fun doing it. So I would highly recommend it. We do a lot of traditions in our family. I think my kids are going to be home living under my roof for not very long, and I want to make every minute count. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I think I'm a believer in intentional motherhood, and this is when you just make every moment with your kids intentional. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, please don't give it a thumbs down. Anyway, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this, and because I'll be doing a Thanksgiving one in the next couple of days. And I know some of you follow me because you know I'm trying to conceive, and I did a whole egg quality video yesterday, and then it got deleted. So anyway, subscribe, like, yay, and have a great Halloween. Talk to you later, YouTube.